Hey guys, welcome to this video. Now I was going to be uploading the last part of our Easter special tonight, part 4, which is the last part of our booster box, base set booster box. Unfortunately, I decided not to do that, and I thought I'd put this video up instead. Well, first of all, I hope you guys are having a good day. I was really having a good day too. Me and Anya, or Anya and I should say in correct English, went out to watch Mirror Mirror. It's probably the only suitable movie that was out there, for her age at least, and then I could stand it. And it was actually not too bad anyway, it was manageable, so it's pretty good, I didn't mind it. It was a different take on Snow White, which is kind of cool. But anyway, the day went really well, except it was kind of spoilt after I had a bit of a conversation with the Slayer of MCA, not because of him. He by no means, it wasn't really his fault. In fact, he was going to mention it during the live show when I was speaking to him on Skype, but he decided not to out of consideration for the fact that I was recording at the time and he didn't want to spoil it. Which is fair enough. But anyway, I was talking to him today. As you know, we had an Easter live show on Saturday, 7th of April in the evening. Now, when I do a live show, in case you don't know, if you've never attended, basically a live show is just watching me open something or do giveaway. It's pretty much watching a behind-the-scenes look at a recording of one of the videos that you see on YouTube right now. So, say the live show is happening right now, you'd see this recording in the background. You'll see everything around it. As you can see, I'm still sorting out my cards here, which isn't going very well. But yeah, today was just spent out and about having a good time. But yeah, in live shows, it's all about pretty much just opening stuff and doing recordings. During the recordings themselves, I don't actually, I can't really talk with people, or I don't actually keep an eye out for the chat. In fact, I end up having moderators obviously moderate the chat while I'm not there. Sometimes live shows can get pretty crazy too, in which case I can't even keep up with the chat to begin with. But I was just watching a recent Slayer of MCA video. He's giving away 100 booster packs, by the way. I think 50 of them are allocated and the other 50 are for his viewers, which is a great thing, I think. I think you should check it out. But in his video he mentioned something about how he pretended not to be Slayer of MCA in a recent live chat, and then he was hounded for it, and it fully didn't click to me that it would have been my live show, because I actually didn't think it was the case. I thought it was something else completely, but it made sense today when I spoke to him, because I got a text from him and I called him afterwards because I was a bit concerned, because I actually had no clue what was going on in the chat on the live show on Saturday night. I actually had no idea. I thought everything was pretty cool, and everybody was, behaving themselves essentially. But it turns out that apparently Slayer MCA was apparently being a nuisance, being a troll, and got kicked off a number of times. At the time, I was recording a segment on my I was recording one of the parts, actually the last part, which you would have seen today, but the last part's coming up after this video at some point. That last part, you might actually hear a text come through prior to me talking about the fact that Slayer MCA just texted me, and it's that text I actually saw, because I didn't see anything on the chat. And he said, get me on the live show sort of thing, and I had no idea he was in the chat, so I thought, yeah, why not? That's awesome, it'd be really cool. G-Skills entered the chat as well, and to have Slayer MCA there as well, it's pretty awesome. And if Primetime Pokemon was there, I would fully have him on the live show as well, totally. And I was fully happy with it. I talked to him, and I'm pretty sure everybody can tell that I was fully happy with him being on the live show in that Skype chat. Unfortunately, he held back, as I said before, the fact that he was annoyed about what happened in the chat before then, because I had no idea there was anything there anyway. He was just doing out of consideration for the fact that I was recording a video at the time, and obviously I got a Blastoise pull, and he just didn't want to spoil it, which I'm grateful for that. But at the same time, I would have rather him told me at that point, because I would have addressed it then, which is why I'm addressing it now. But it's all good. It doesn't matter. It's more concerning because I didn't know what happened in that chat, and I'm probably making it sound more dramatic than it actually is. But to be honest, I'm just a bit clueless and a bit surprised, stunned even, that he was hounded, or there was a lot of hate, even though he posed as somebody else until he admitted he was him. And the comments that came out of it and the hate, from what I've heard of, were a bit uncalled for. And to be honest, this video is just to get your side of the story, because I want to hear what you guys, whoever was in the live show, I'm not going to blame anyone, because I really I have no right to do that, because I was just doing the live show. And if you're in my position doing a live show as big as ours get, even though that was a modest live show, it's still pretty crazy, and you have to coordinate and you have to dictate you just have to essentially dictate the way it runs. And so I never know what's going on, especially when the chat's going crazy, and I'm never looking at the chat, especially when I'm recording, because I'm focusing on the videos that you see on YouTube right now that you're seeing as well. So when that came to light, I was just a bit surprised, shocked, and a bit annoyed, I will admit, because I expect better of people. To be honest, that's all I can really say. I'm not your father, nor your mother, obviously. I'm not an elder of you to be able to tell you guys how to run, or how to talk to people, and how to pretty much do what you want to do on the internet. It's not my right to do that. But all I can say is suggest that maybe back off sometimes. I'm not sure what happened, but I will say right now, yes, there's people that are bigger out there, like Primetime Pokemon, even Slayer of MCA, and a lot of other really good PokeTubers out there. But as you know, as much as I'm about interacting since 2009, I'm also about not having animosity between anyone since 2009. If you really want that to be my catchphrase, I will make it that catchphrase. The idea of my Pokemon, my channel, essentially, it's meant to be a hub for everybody to at least be able to get reliable information directly from the right companies, from the Pokemon Company International directly, to give reliable information at least for Australia and New Zealand, and as you've seen, also on an international level now. And that's what I've always been about, and I've always been very personable to everybody. I've always, tried to interact as much as I possibly can, and some of you will have to obviously acknowledge the fact that I can't speak to every single person, just because of the sheer volume of people that I receive. But I still address you in my videos, in my live shows. I try my best to, get out there. But I do not, and I repeat, I will never promote hate across a community. There was one time where I defended someone, Unknown TV, if some people remember. That's because it was unfair on her part, and I will stick up for people, and like I'm doing now for the Slayer of MCA. Again, I can't really speak of either side, because I don't know the full story, and I'm not going to blame one side over the other, because I'm sure there's a two-way situation here, no doubt about that. I'm fully aware of it. But at the same time, Primetime Pokemon, for example, is great. I might not watch a lot of his videos, but I also don't watch a lot of other videos too. You might dislike them. You might dislike me even. You might dislike anyone, but that doesn't give you the right to go and hate on them just because you're in a competition. It's not a competition. I was speaking to Chris, which is the Slayer, he's a Slayer of MCA today, and I told him, if there's one thing that we all have to do is stick together fundamentally, because if other people start hating on us, they're going to cause rifts between us to begin with. And I'm not letting people get in between content providers. In other words, those PokeTubers out there that are taking their time and who have successfully become bigger than they anticipate, especially me. I didn't even know that I would become so big, and even saying that, it's very odd for me to say, but I guess I have to embrace it. But at the same time, I will not allow people to cause arguments between a lot of PokeTubers out there. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you don't like anybody else. Quite frankly, I don't care if you even unsubscribe from my channel. It's not about counts. It's not about competition. It's about having a good time. And I've always been very explicit about this. and I will continue to be very explicit about this. This is just about bringing community together, and I'd like to think I've done a decent job of it. And with the upcoming PokeCollection project, which I'm not announcing just yet, I also plan to make it even more something quite integral as well. And that's really all I can say about it. I am quite frankly every single live show. It's it's about me versus primetime Pokemon. Oh, primetime Pokemon's this, primetime Pokemon's that. PokeCollection is so much better. If you think that's gonna put you in my good books, it's not really. If it's flattering, yes, okay, fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But it's not going to put me in the good books just because you favour me over the other. For all I know, you will go to somebody else's live show and say the same thing to them. Oh, I hate PokeCollection, you're so much better than them. I'm not an idiot, and I'm very, very well aware. I'm just wary, in general, of many people. Okay? And I'm not hating on anybody particularly that watches the videos. I'm fully... I support you guys, and I'm glad you support us as well. I'm really grateful of that. I'm not being grateful in one way, but at the same time, if you follow this channel for a long time, you know that I ramble a lot. I mean, I'm already taking like 12 minutes now already. But you also know that I'm very honest, I can be very blunt, and I will be very firm, like I am being now. And to be honest, this day forward, I don't want to hear anything about me versus anybody else, except if it's me versus me versus Anya or Alina on the channel, in terms of those Asad versus Anya or Asad versus Alina, competitions that we hold in Pokemon. Other than that, people shouldn't be getting personal. We're here to give you content, and if you like it, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. No worries. But I'm sure there's a reason for maybe some people retaliating towards Slayer MCA, but at the same time, I don't know, because I don't know what happened exactly. I've only got one side of the story, and from what I heard, even if it's biased, I'm fully aware that it could be, it's still unfortunate that it happened in my live show, and I fully had no idea that it happened. It's very annoying for me to suddenly feel so embarrassed because something happened in my live show, and somebody goes and tells me that they're not going to come to my live shows anymore because they feel like their fans have been being really cruel to them. I will say now that I didn't condone that behaviour. I didn't ask for that behaviour. I didn't go, and this is to you, Chris, Slayer MCA. I most definitely, as I said to you earlier today, I most definitely didn't condone the behaviour of these people, whatever happened. Whether you're at fault or whether they're at fault, I don't mind. It doesn't matter. The only thing is, I'm embarrassed that it happened in my live show, not because I want to keep up status or anything. It's more like, well, we're meant to have a good time, guys. And if Chris was doing something to detract from that, you tell me. I will listen to you, but to be honest, I didn't hear anything that night, and I didn't even know anything happened, so how am I supposed to know until, he told me, and I felt really gutted because it made me feel like I was responsible, and that's nothing against you, Slayer MC. I fully know that you're alright with me and everything, that's all good, and there's definitely no animosity between us, but at the same time I couldn't help feel but gutted that fans could be so aggressive. It's like Lady Gaga versus Madonna. That's like all I've ever seen in the last few days on Twitter is these massive trending topics between these fandoms, and everybody's going, oh I'm going to let my language go here, and say people going absolutely apeshit over people they don't even know, and they're competing for no reason whatsoever. Rather than focusing on the negatives of people, focus on the positives of them, if they've got any. If they haven't, just pretend there is. Okay? It's no point. Negativity is just pointless. At the end of the day, as much as I can be negative, I can have those down days as well. We all do. At the end of the day, you just need to carry on through it and go forward. I'm not sure what Slayer MCA did on that day on the live show, but whatever caused him to be very annoyed and targeted or victimized, I'm really, really gutted about it, and I have apologized to him on behalf of everybody, even though I don't even know what happened. I honestly was not involved in anything. That's not about saving my face, though. It's more like, if you're going to treat if you're going to treat people like this, then what is that in terms of, a reflection on you? like, or anybody else, like, how does that reflect on you? Like, somebody can easily say, oh, PKC's fans are so bad, I'm gonna go, over there, or Primetime's fans are so bad. I don't think it's very flattering to be providing content and then having fans targeted as a whole, just because of little actions like that. It's really, really, I don't even know how to explain myself without carrying on and on. But to be honest, I'm just a bit gutted, really, that he had to feel so victimized. I spoke to him that night. I was happy to Skype call him, and I did. Everybody knew that I Skype called him, and you'll see that in the forthcoming video after this video hits at some point. I was fully happy to have him on the live show and everything. It was great, and I don't mind him plugging his channel and that sort of thing. I'm fully keen to have so many people on the live show. Again, at the end of the day, it's great fun, and as you've seen in my Easter specials, this Easter special, I've had people actually Skype call me during the recording as well, which is obviously something I need to refine because of the time it took. But it was great. It was great to have that, and to now feel like that sort of got spoiled, and my day got spoiled today and I don't like to, let the internet flow onto my everyday life, but I couldn't help just feel a bit, that was a bit gutting. Everybody needs to stick together, in my opinion, and enjoy Pokemon as it is. I'm doing my whatever I can to make Pokemon an enjoyable experience, but it's not just about Pokemon, it's just about people in general. I've told him as well, I'm about networking. I'm here to make friends. I'm just that type of person. I'm not here to hate against somebody else. I will definitely have friendly banter. I will, hassle people just because I can, and for fun. And he knows that, and I know that. But I will not have people pitting people against each other, and just causing or potentially causing these stupid rifts which don't even exist. And I've said to Chris today, the Slayer MCA, that whatever anybody says about us, we shouldn't let it get to us, or at least between us. And so we're going to remain mates, I guess, regardless of what you do, because it's not going to change anything. It's only going to change you guys, and you guys are the only ones wasting the time. And right now, this is the only time I'm going to spend on this topic, unless something like that happens again. But this is the first time it's happened, and to be honest, nobody's going to pay attention to it unless it's brought to light, and I will bring them to light. This is a family-friendly channel. It's supported by so many companies. Thankful to them, they have been able to provide you with giveaways and all that sort of stuff, and stuff from my own pocket as well. And I'm not here to make money, and I was never here to make money, because, yes, I am partnered. You can say that I'm partnered, but I make absolutely crap all. I will tell you that now. And if anything I do make, it goes straight towards another opening. Nothing else. It never leaves my PayPal. So, the point of this basically is that I'm just not happy with the way things went down. It's I don't know. With the support we have, we work really hard to provide some exciting new ways to experience Pokemon and enjoy ourselves. So when this happens, it kind of spoils it, to be honest. And my live shows have always been a really fun aspect of this. I started live shows in 2009, actually, soon after I opened the channel. Just a trial thing, and just like the Skype thing, it's another trial thing that went, it came out really well. But yeah, I don't know the story about it. I'm not speaking for anyone at the moment. I'm only speaking overall, because I've seen it's not just one incident really, although that has triggered this particular video. It is this whole pitting people against each other. We're all good in our own way. I really don't care if you dislike me or go somewhere else and tell other people that you like them over me. I really don't care. At the end of the day, I only care the fact that I care about Pokemon and I'm doing my openings. And if I'll be happy to, I care about your comments and your suggestions, your critique even. But if you hate me and that's all you're going to give me, then I'm like, well, go somewhere else. And that fundamentally is the case, and I will say that. Just go somewhere else. I really don't care. It's never been about counts, subscribers. I mean, have you ever even heard me say a lot, or even at all, subscribe to me? That sort of thing. I've said like me on Facebook and stuff, but that's because I can give you Facebook exclusives and more giveaways and stuff. But that's about it. It's not a competition here. It's not about I mean, I know people love the thrill of being better than other people or being the fan of one person over the other just because they feel better about themselves or something. But to be honest, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't get it really. And in case people don't know, I've talked to Primetime Pokemon many times. Yes, maybe he might seem monotone and he could, change things up, but maybe that's just the way he wants to do it. I don't care. At the same time, I've managed to get to know a few people. I've managed to talk to Primetime, managed to talk to Slayer MCA and G-Skill. Everybody I started off with or knew around that time, I've conversed with. And I think it's about time that people started respecting. You don't have to respect us, but just respect the community as a whole. If you want to make this a good place for yourself, make it a good place for everybody else. And that's all I'm going to say on this topic. If you want to write hate comments, then please do. All I want is to know what really happened, because I don't even know. And give me your one-sided stories, I don't mind. I understand bias, I understand two-way situations. I'm not hating on anyone, I'm not going to hate on anyone, and all I'm doing is just presenting a very long video on what I feel about this, because it's not very, very ideal to me. And yeah, I just want to know what if you were at the live show, what happened, why it happened, and fundamentally the other message of this is stop putting people against each other, because you're not going to get anything out of it except for videos like this, and that's about it. Yeah. Anyway, again, apologies to Slayer of MCA. I'm sorry that you had to suffer whatever you did, whether it's your fault, which it doesn't matter if it is or not, or whether it's somebody else's fault, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all I want is people to have a good time, and that's what we're about, and that's all that matters. Thanks. Bye.